I didn't want to think about it.
I thought my advance directive took care of everything.
I wasn't sure how to start the conversation.
I was worried it would upset my family.
I thought I was too young to think about it.
Then I learned about.
Then I learned about.
Then I learned about.
Then I learned about.
The medical orders for life-sustaining treatments, more commonly known as the MOLST Form, is a document you fill out with the help of your healthcare provider. Once it is completed, it is a signed medical order. The MOLST Form allows you to make very specific choices about your care in the event of a serious health crisis. It directs providers, including emergency medical services, to perform only exactly those treatments and interventions that you want. Your wishes on a signed MOLST must be followed.
I learned about the MOLST Form when a dear friend of mine became very ill suddenly. She had an advance directive that stated her wishes for no interventions. However, emergency treatment was performed when the EMS arrived. She had not spoken with her family members about her wishes for healthcare in a crisis, and they did not know what to do. Later, one of her children told me that if they had all known about the MOLST Form before something happened, a lot of confusion and suffering could have been avoided for my friend and her family members.
An advance directive is a document or oral directive that appoints a healthcare agent to make healthcare decisions, and it may include a living will or your stated wishes about medical treatments when you no longer have capacity to make decisions. Advance directives usually address your wishes in cases of a terminal condition, an end-stage condition, or persistent vegetative state. Emergency medical services, or EMS, providers cannot take your advance directive as a medical order. The MOLST Form is a standardized medical order signed by your healthcare provider that covers options for CPR and other life-sustaining treatments. It is portable and enduring and valid in all healthcare settings and in the community. EMS providers follow the MOLST Form as a medical order. It helps to increase the likelihood that your wishes regarding life-sustaining treatments are honored. And you may change your healthcare decisions at any time by asking your healthcare provider to revise the MOLST Form. It is recommended to review the MOLST Form annually or anytime you have a substantial change in health status.
I have a chronic health condition that will progress over time. I am doing very well now, and my MOLST is filled out to reflect my current wishes for strong intervention if I have a sudden health crisis. My spouse is very healthy. When I met with our provider, I asked if every adult should have a MOLST Form ready. The answer was a definite yes. You never know when a health crisis will happen. It's always best to be prepared. We have MOLST Forms and we decide our care.
When I first started the process, I went directly to the website and I printed out a copy of the MOLST Form. I read it from top to bottom as I thought about my personal wishes. I even made notes. I talked to my family about my personal wishes and why I felt that way. We shared their thoughts as well. It wasn't an easy conversation at first, but we got through it. We talked about what was important. I wanted them to know my personal wishes, and they agreed.
When I sit down with a patient to discuss the MOLST Form, I am there to listen, answer questions, and explain options. This can be an emotional or even scary subject to think about, but it is very important that your wishes are understood and followed.
I have a MOLST, and now I feel empowered, even in a crisis.
Using the MOLST Form to talk about my wishes in a healthcare crisis opened the door for me to talk to my family about other issues that I am facing.
When I first asked to speak with my children and my family about the MOLST process, they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to think about something bad happening to me, but I convinced them that it was important and it was necessary. I didn't want them to have to make a decision in a crisis and have to guess. I wanted them to know my feelings, and the MOLST allowed me to do that.
My provider was a great help. Now I really understand all of the possible interventions. My MOLST states exactly what I do and do not want.
Having my MOLST gives the decision-making power with me.